it's Jem. Thank you so much to everyone who watched my last video, the Q&A. I received so many kind messages and comments, and the overall response was just amazing. So thank you so much. I decided that I just wanted to talk about ways that we can stay positive and encourage each other during the lockdown period. If you're watching this video, I don't know how the lockdown affected you, but I know that it's had an impact on all of us in a completely different way, more so than anyone could have anticipated. Even though it's a really crazy time, I still believe that we can grow from it and learn from it and still become better people, encourage each other through it. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about, so let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is practicing gratitude. And this is something that I've really gotten into the practice of even more during this lockdown period. At the end of the day, I feel like there is a lot to be sad about if we're being real. We're living in completely unprecedented times, and yeah, no one really saw this coming, to be honest. But I still feel that there are so many things that we can be grateful for every single day. Like the fact that you're even alive watching this video, that's a miracle in itself, considering everything that's going on in the world right now. So personally, I like to start off every day by just praying and thanking God for pretty much everything I can think of, from my family to my friends and my health, my home, really just anything positive that I can think of. Literally just talking to God like I'm speaking to you now through prayer. Or sometimes I like to write it down in like a journal or a notebook. Yeah, it really just depends on what I'm feeling on that day. This can be a really positive start to your day and just get you into the right mindset and make you grateful for what you have. I honestly believe there's so much to be grateful for, and when I start off my day by focusing on the good, then it helps me to see other good things throughout the day, and yeah, just gives me a really positive mindset. The second thing I want to talk about is staying flexible. If you watch my last Q&A video, then I spoke a bit about like my quarantine routine and the different ways I like to structure my day to get things done. Now, things have changed since that video. After Easter, things ramped up a lot. So we got a lot more teaching sessions and a lot more scheduled teaching time, which is really good because, of course, we're students and we're here to learn. But it does mean that the normal like 10 to 2 p.m, start your work, doesn't really happen like that anymore. With the hours and timetables constantly changing, the ability to just be flexible and roll with whatever comes your way is huge. It means that things won't really faze you as much when they change. Overall, I found the whole working from home thing to be an interesting experience. I think it definitely has its positives, like just being able to wake up when you want, do your work when you want. For me, that works really well. But there's also other things to consider that might make me less productive than I would like. So yeah, it can be kind of tough sometimes, especially with procrastination. Like, whoa, yeah. I think it can be tough when you also don't feel that much motivation to study or do your work. You kind of get into this cycle of like not really feeling motivated to do your work, and then you procrastinate, and then you feel bad because you procrastinated and you didn't do your work, and then you don't get as much done as you thought, so you feel more stressed to do the other work, and you know. I think we do have to remember, like, of course we're human, you know, like we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna be unproductive at times, like it's okay. But I think just not letting that get the best of us. So for me, one way that I've tried to kind of tackle this is by setting like 3 goals that I want to have for the day. This could be like going to my seminars, doing some reading, playing my guitar, anything really. It kind of gives you more of a structure for your day. So instead of like wasting the whole day, then feeling bad because you didn't do anything, you kind of think, okay, I've got 3 things I want to do today. And these don't even have to be study things. Like if you're not a student, this could be 3 things for work that you want to get done. Or if you've been furloughed, then maybe like 3 things around the house that you want to do. Maybe 3 creative interests or things for your hobbies that you want to do that day. It can really be anything. And I find that it gives you a lot of structure for your day whatever it might look like. But it's also nice to have unstructured days where you don't really do much. Love those. The third thing I want to talk about is just having fun with the everyday. If you follow my Insta, you'll probably know that I love dancing and just posting dance videos, choreography, making up new dances. And for me, this is just something that's fun to do around the house. And this can really work for anything around the house that you want to do. For me, if I'm doing like some cooking or some chores, I just put some music on and like before I know it, I've literally come up with a whole new dance. If you've got work or studying to do, then maybe set yourself a time limit and after that you have like a little treat or something. Just give yourself things that you can do throughout the day that you look forward to and just have fun with it every day. I think now is also a really good time to pursue any hobbies or interests that you might have outside of what you're used to. This can feel really scary at first, but I don't think that there's ever been a better time to try these new things and see what works for you. You might find that you're really good at something you never even considered. And yeah, you'll never know unless you try. My fourth way of staying positive during the lockdown is really just reaching out and connecting with people. I can say that I've been so blessed and just so touched by some of the messages I've received from friends, family, and people who I honestly never expected to reach out during this time. I do think it is really easy during this time to kind of lock yourself away and not really keep up with people as much as you would, or make the effort to connect and reach out to people. I also understand that it can be intimidating as well, like especially if you're shy or you're not really used to doing that. But I think that this is really the time that people need it the most, you know, like some people will never admit that they're struggling or going through hardship unless you ask. And I think this is a great time to check on people and just be like, how are you doing? So maybe try messaging someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, or reaching out to a friend and just checking on them, making sure they're okay. And if you are going through a tough time and you haven't told anyone about it, maybe try confiding in someone and make sure that it's someone that you really trust and who you feel understands you. Another way I found myself staying positive during the lockdown is making post-lockdown plans. I know this seems really premature, but I really believe that this thing will be over sooner than we think. And in the moment while we're waiting, it seems long, it seems boring, it seems endless. But one day we're going to wake up and the lockdown's going to be lifted and we'll be able to go out and see our friends and have fun. And that's going to be an amazing time that we can look forward to. I feel like making post-lockdown plans has been a good way for me to look forward to the future and just be positive about what's going to come instead of feeling so constrained in where we are right now. This could literally just be thinking of places that you want to meet up with your friends or places that you've always wanted to visit. If there's specific goals or things that you want to happen that you know you're going to have to work towards, then this is a great time to start just planning and thinking of how you're going to get to those places. If it's going to mean extra study, extra time, extra money, are you going to have to work? Are you going to have to network? Yeah, I feel like using this time to think about those things is a really valuable use of our time. And finally, the last and most important way for me to stay positive during this lockdown is getting to know Jesus for ourselves and just building a relationship with him. The world is going through so much hurt, so much pain and uncertainty right now. And I think pandemic or not, this is something that, you know, the human race has always struggled with and that we've always had to deal with. For me, I found that having more time away from uni, from my course and everything, has just given me a lot more opportunity to just seek God and a lot of time to think. And I'm pretty sure that all of us can say during this time that we've thought deeply about who we are as people, like what do we want out of life and what do we want for our futures, you know? And it's become increasingly clear to all of us, including myself, that, you know, life is fragile. And I really just want to use this life and this time on earth that I've been given, however long or short that is, to just live for God and just to tell people how Jesus has really changed my life. We don't always know what's going to happen or what the future holds for us. We don't know when this lockdown is going to be lifted, and we don't know how things are going to be when it's lifted. But one thing that I know for sure is that God never changes and his love for us never changes. And I'm grateful every single day for the fact that I can speak to him and be known by him, be loved by him, and all of the imperfect things that I am and that I do and the ways that I fail every single day. Those things are all made okay when I just come to him as I am. I can be confident that no matter what happens in this life, I'm covered, I'm protected by him in this life and the next life. And yeah, I'm really just grateful for this time to spend with God and to reflect on life and just think about those things. So yeah, that's been the thing that's brought me the most joy during this lockdown. Some of you might know that I also have a blog called Heal to Heal, where I write about these types of things, and I write about medicine, how faith influences our practice now and in the future, and just general creative interests and hobbies. And I'm going to be publishing my testimony on there really soon, so I will link that below as well. I hope you guys are all well and that you enjoyed this video. If you want to reach out, please feel free to send me a message anytime. But yeah, much love, God bless, see you soon.